What's up, guys? I'm Chris Long, as always, and here with me is
Lawrence Edmondson. What up, guys? What up?
Hell yeah! Welcome to One Shot Reviews, the podcast where we watch anime and review them, but just the first
Mhm.
episode. I feel like we haven't said that in a while.
Fact. Yeah, I be having to explain that to everybody. Yo, bro, I be putting this on, bro. I'm not.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
I be, I be talking to. Yo, I talk to a lot of people who watch anime while I'm playing, like in my regular day life, like while I'm playing Destiny. Yo, mad people watch anime who play.
Tell them to watch us, damn
Bro,
it.
yeah, I be like, yo, even people I don't even know, like, yo, guys, I be sending out the link, like, I be
Hell
sending,
yeah!
oh, yeah, man, I be putting this on, but yeah, what up, guys? What up? What up?
What up? And in case you guys want to find us other than just our beautiful faces, you can find us on Twitter at ReviewsShot, at Gmail at OneShotReviewsPod@gmail.com, on Instagram at _OneShotReviews, and of course on YouTube or Spotify, where you can see us talk and look at Lawrence's beautiful face.
Exactly.
Leave a review and tell Lawrence how beautiful he is. Look at him. That
Yeah, actually, don't put in, don't comment on it. Don't put any comments. No, I haven't had a haircut
He
in
needs,
dumb
he
long.
needs it.
My,
Tell him how beautiful his hair looks.
yo, my barber just texted me the other day, like, yeah, I don't work at that barber shop anymore. I said,
So where? I need a
where the
haircut.
fuck you work at, bro? Like, what I'm finna do now? Like, yo, like, you can't just. You know what's crazy, bro? I was like, yo, I was like, word. I was like, yo, cool. Is everything good, bro? I'm like, yo, where you at now? Never responded. I was like, well, excuse the fuck out of me. Like,
he
I was
still
like-
works there, but he just doesn't want you coming back. But he
Right,
didn't know how
I'm
to
like,
tell you,
yo,
so he was like, I'll
I'm
just lie and
washed.
say I left.
I must be
Shit.
watched. Like, I must be watched. But
Shit. But what have you been watching this
so
week?
what have I been watching? This week I have watched the number 1 and number 2 top rated shows in 2020. I'm sorry, I'm still gonna refer to my list.
Fruits
I'm-
baskets and my room is a dungeon rest stop. Those are good ones. Those are good ones.
Yeah, those, yo, man, I love them, man. I love that episode where that thing happened and the person died. Like, yo, it was crazy.
Damn, he actually did watch. Okay, here we go.
Every anime ever.
I know, right?
But nah, I've been watching Attack on Titan. Obviously, everybody is, and TPN. So
Okay.
I saw a list. What I'm referring to, guys, is I saw a list on Twitter yesterday, and I absolutely hate when I don't like something, and then I go, "Oh, I saw that on Twitter, Instagram an hour ago," and then you try to go back and find it on the timeline, and you didn't like it or bookmark it. It's gone. You're never gonna find that. So, like in bookmark anything on the timeline of social media that you're like, oh, this is kind of cool, because then you never know when you end up needing to go back to it. But anyway, I saw a list, and it was 2020s, the top 10 animes of 2020,
Okay.
and the Attack on Titan final season was number 1. Yo, Chris, you know what's funny? Yo, why does every anime do that now? Like they'd be like,
Final
So-
season.
yeah, instead of saying the show, they add final season to all their name searches. Like, it's
Right.
included in the name now. So, like, if you go on 9 Anime and try and look up TPN,
Right.
watch season 2, season 1 will come up and season 2 will not. Oh, wait. That was on that other website. That was on Anime Now. But it's like they make their naming cases like, why do they do that? I didn't know if you knew, like, why
I have
they
no
do that.
idea why.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Like,
it's
they'll
when-
actually include like final season in the name, and it's just like I just become confused. Like,
did that. They lied, but
they lied. Like,
Attack
they
on
just
Titan
had-
probably isn't lying. It's probably the actual. Final
Yeah,
season.
nah, it's their final season. But yeah, so I've been watching Attack on Titan, which is amazing. Right now, this final season is so good. It's
Okay.
the best season by far, story explanation wise. It's just a great story. This season definitely topped the cake to me with just like, I haven't had that feeling of, oh my god, I cannot wait till this next episode. I haven't had that feeling in a long time. Okay, JJK, yes, had me like that over this break the past 2 weeks.
Right.
But AOT is on another level though. Like AOT is like
Right.
it's like sage level. Like it's wisdom wizard Gandalf type. Like it's above. It's like it's put in its work. It's already
It's
put in its
funny
work.
because you're feeling that way about
It's
AOT, and I'm
solidified.
over
Yeah.
here about that time I got reincarnated as a slime. I
And that
have that feeling, but the shows are so fucking different.
yeah.
Like,
But as long as it's
it's
like
so funny.
I just feel like who put in the work.
Right.
Like if like
I
we've
did.
been watching,
I put in all the
AOT
work. It was easy.
exactly.
I did.
It's been out for a while, but nah, it's really good. TPN
Word.
season 2 just started, so now like I'm waiting, and that comes out
Fridays,
on
I
the day
think.
that starts with.
Is it
Oh, it does.
Fridays?
Oh, it does. Oh,
Pretty
okay.
sure it's
So
Fridays.
yeah, TP. I don't think TPN is on Fridays. I
It's
think
either
TPN
Thursday
is.
or Friday.
It's on a day that starts with a T, so it's either
Probably.
Tuesday or Thursday.
Then
Is
it's definitely
TPN.
Thursday. Then let
Okay,
me double
so
check that.
TPN is Thursday, JJK's Friday, not AOT Sunday. So our weekends are stacked right now for anime watchers. Like anime watchers' weekends are kind of stacked between
Let's see.
TPN, JJK, and AOT.
It's
That sounded really.
Fridays.
Oh, it does come out on Fridays.
It might be
The sub.
Thursdays because it's Friday for them. Technically Thursday for us still. It's Thursday
Oh, okay,
night for us. Yeah.
okay.
Us us shitty Americans.
So okay, so yeah, so that's what I've been watching, guys. I've been watching the
Word.
mainstream shit. JJK episode 15 just dropped, guys. Which were they were on a JJK was on a 2 week break, and they just dropped that episode. It was a good episode. It fills you in on some information. I think this was a setup episode. This was definitely a
Okay.
setup episode, but it was very good information was dropped in this.
I'll watch it soon, I promise. I promise. When I
So
finish the show I'm on right now, I'm gonna start it.
I know you have
That's a
the long.
promise for
I
you.
know you have a long show watching list.
No, no, just whenever the show I'm watching right now, once that's done, I'll watch JJK. Because I do want to watch it. I just haven't
Okay.
gotten around
Oh,
to it.
so you haven't started at all.
No. No, not at all.
Oh well, lucky you. You lucky motherfucker.
I was gonna wait until all of it was done and binge it, but I don't think I can.
That's a
think-
long. Yeah, that's
yeah, I
gonna
think
be
I'm
a
just gonna-
long time, bro. Like
I'm just
that.
gonna finish the show I'm watching because I got like 6 episodes left, and then I'll watch that. So
So that's good because by the time you start it, episode 16 will probably be out, and then you can watch all the way up to 16, which I'm jealous of because I wish I never watched it and had 16 full episodes to watch. But so yeah, so that's what I've been watching. What about you, bro?
TPN, obviously, been watching that. The time I got reincarnated as a slime. This new show, Other Side Picnic. No fucking idea what that show's about, but I'm loving it. It's cool. And then Akudama Drive. I've been watching it since last week. I've just been busy this last week, so I couldn't watch all of it, but I'm on like episode 6, I think. I'll finish that today or tomorrow. And then I'll start JJK, you know?
All right, cool.
I watched, have you seen Tenet yet? You know the movie
Yes.
Tenet? Have
Yo.
you seen it?
I watched it I finally finished watching it because I'm not gonna lie, the first time I watched it,
Uh-oh. Oh no.
now, yo, let me tell you real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just tell you what happened with this movie. I'm not like as in me watching it, what happened. Let me just tell you real quick. Then go ahead. You can finish what you're saying. I went to. This is when me and Bethany went to go see that movie when it came out, and it came out in the pandemic. So this came out a couple months ago,
Right.
and
I think it came out like end of November, beginning.
it was
something like that.
yeah, it came out a couple months ago. Right. I don't know, like now I didn't know at the time it was a Christopher Nolan movie. I didn't know that. I just heard that it was like, oh, it's really good, and it deals with like time. And
So,
we're like,
so were you confused when you finished watching it the first time? So I don't know if I'm really smart or everyone else is really dumb. So if you sit there and you talk
I didn't finish watching it the first time. That's why, though.
That's different. So that's different. But I know people that watched the whole movie and left, and they're like, no fucking idea. Couldn't follow it, no idea. Like the people that watched the season 1 of The Witcher, and they're like, how could they put things out of order? Couldn't follow it. And then I'm watching Tenet, and like I'm confused until they explain it, and then I went, oh. And then the rest of the movie, I'm like, oh, because got it. Okay. And then I
get
dude,
that.
I know people that are like, I watched it 3 times and I still don't get it. And I'm like, they tell you the thing.
They're just moving in.
They tell you.
It's like revert. Yeah,
some people move forward and some people are moving forward in the future. But they're moving back. It's like, you know what I mean?
It's like they're reversing.
Yeah.
But it's happening right now, which is why, yo, that movie's wild.
It's literally like, wild. Imagine being in the present and you're just doing your shit, and then someone's in the future traveling back in time. And then you guys wave at each other, and then you swap, and then you wave back. And that's it. That's how I imagine it. It's just they're time traveling, and you're moving naturally, and then you both reach a point where you can see each other, and you're like, oh, hey, there they are, going back in time, and oh, here I am. But then you both reach a point where you guys reach those points, and then you guys just do that again. But then you stop when you guys reach each other, because then you've completed your objective. It's weird. It's a weird thing. But I know people that are like, I don't understand the whole, how can you travel back in time and then travel? I'm like, we've had time traveling for forever. You've seen 38 other time travel movies. How has this made sense?
You said you've seen 38 other time travel.
I don't get it.
So the first time me and Bethany went to watch that, we actually left the movie theater.
Damn.
Because I just couldn't get into it. It started off a little, slow. Then
it's slow,
after that,
mm-hmm.
I found out Christopher Nolan made
now
it.
You're
and then I was like, I'm sorry for being disrespectful. I was like, I'm sorry. I disrespected
Listen,
you.
if y'all haven't seen the movie,
down and watch it.
Stop listening for the next 5 minutes because spoiler talk.
Because we're gonna have to hold on. Because I know
it's been out for a while. You can rent it on YouTube now.
He's like, I don't give up. Y'all can watch
the next 10 minutes. Skip the next 10 minutes because this movie's phenomenal. So starting now. Skip 10 minutes in. All right, continue, Lawrence.
So for the most part, I think I feel like I understand the movie. I got that. You have your way of like. That was like, all right, cool.
There's different ways to explain it. That's how I figured explain it to myself.
It made sense to me because I realized I'm like, oh, all these things they're doing is just moving in reverse.
When she explains it with the gun at the beginning, I'm like,
she was like, she picked up the bullet from the ground, picked it up back in her hand.
You gotta catch it. You're not dropping it. You're catching it because it already fell, and you're like,
because it already right.
So it feels weird because you're catching bullets. You're not shooting them. You're catching them. You know, and like you're not walking to the left or everything's reversed. You know, so like that's why when he was driving, he was like, oh fuck, oh god, like he didn't know what that's why when you see him driving, he's like doing this because everything's reversed. So, like, he wants to go left, he's got to turn to the right, but his body naturally wants to go left. So that's why he's driving like a fucking asshole, because he's trying to fix himself while he's driving.
I know there are so many, like, nuances in this movie that are, like, if you watch it a second time, you'll be like, oh yeah,
you'll pick up on new... Dude, when they blow the building up with the bazooka, and you see it in real time and backwards, so you see the top, it explodes, but then you see the bottom explode, and it was fucking cool. I thought.
Yeah, it was dope.
That was the coolest shit.
Tenet was, man. I mean, it's Christopher Nolan, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? He does this for breakfast. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so good.
He does this for breakfast. I don't think it was better than Interstellar. It was good.
I like Interstellar more. I like spaceship. I like space stuff more than I like time travel stuff, personally.
Yeah. Okay, I was on Twitter, bro, and I agreed with them. They said Interstellar is the best
out of all of his movies.
I'm not gonna lie, I personally agree with that. I'm gonna have to. I actually own Inception, but I'm gonna have to watch Inception one more time.
It depends on like what you're into. Because if you're a comic book guy, then The Dark Knight is like hands down his best shit.
True.
If you're a space dude,
I lie.
Interstellar's his best shit. So, if you're a time dude, you know, I think it's all based on like he's made a movie for each category of shit people like. He made the comic book, he made the space, he made dream reality shit, he made time travel. Like, he's done different types of movies. And if people go, this is my favorite Christopher Nolan shit, you can probably tell when they go, and here are other favorite movies I like, gonna fall in that same category of shit. You know what I mean?
Okay, you're right.
Yeah,
I need to be more specific
because his
movies are like his mind fuck movies.
Then
not his his
mind
not
fuck.
Yeah, his out of all of his mind fuck movies, I
enjoy
Interstellar.
I think Tenet's better for a mind fuck movie, to be honest. For mind fuck, because when you're watching Interstellar and you're getting it, once you reach the point where you figure out the whole end part thing, not really that much of a mind fuck. Once you figure that out, you're kind of like that. No, makes
but which
sense.
One's better? Which one did you like better though?
Overall,
that's what I'm saying.
Not because of mindfuckery. I just like space. More. I just like space more, so I think. But
which one do you think was his best? Was his best out of all of the ones where he does the mind fuck thing? Tenet. Which one did you think was the best? You still think Tenet was the best one? I think Interstellar is better than it.
So like you have the ending that's a mind fuck of like, oh my god, it was her dad the whole time, not aliens. Holy shit! Like that whole thing with the bookshelf and him not aging, but everyone on Earth. Like you're like, okay, cool. But then you get to Tenet and it's like he's fighting himself in reverse. The guy he's with figures that out and tells him so he doesn't kill his friend, ruining the timeline. Then at the end of the movie, with the friend being the dude who dies to save him, all right, then you have the whole operation forward and backward, so everyone's seeing each other, blah, blah, blah. Then you find out that the whole movie is only half of the movie because now he's going to start the movie by being the guy who starts the whole fucking operation. That's a mindfuck. When you find out that he's the guy who started all of it. Because he gets to the end, Robert Pattinson is just like, I gotta go. And he's like, but you'll die. But he's like, listen, man, my journey's ending with you, but your journey with me has only just begun. And then you're like, and he's like, temporal pincer. Remember? This is only the first half of the pincer. He's like, we get up to some shit, you and I. Trust me. And you're just like, oh, he is not only the low guy, but also the boss. And the temporal pincer, I'm like, oh, that's a mindfuck when you think about it like that. I'm like, when you're the grunt and you don't, and everyone's trying to tell him he's not the protagonist, but he actually is. And then you get to that scene with Robert Pattinson, and Robert Pattinson's like, oh, yeah, no, you're the boss. You start. The reason I know everything is because of you, because you come to me and you tell me everything you recruit me so that you can then recruit me as your past self. I'm like, okay, holy shit. That's a mindfuck. That's a mindfuck. You got to admit. Like,
it is.
Shit. I think that's a crazier mindfuck than the black hole mindfuck in Interstellar.
What movie do you think was better? Period. Just regardless of mindfuckery and all that, I think Interstellar was a better movie. That's just what I think. Interstellar was so crazy. Okay, Tenet's mindfuck was better, but Interstellar as a movie, I think was.
I keep trying to take away my prejudices of I love spaceship, but I can't. So I gotta go with Interstellar.
And I think Tenet was ridiculous. Inception is okay. Dark Knight is his most. And Dark Knight is his most famous, but Inception is right there under it. So Inception is right there, but Interstellar is like
so good. It is good. Are
you kidding me? Interstellar is like I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about it.
I haven't seen that since it came out.
It's just so crazy. Yeah, bro. It's just I don't know. But yeah. But now I feel Tenet. You probably got a lot more than I did with Tenet. However, I do think I got everything and for the most
You
part,
definitely did.
I think I got all the most important stuff. I understand they're moving in reverse.
You got
I got all
everything.
that.
You probably just missed cool little shit
Yeah,
that he like
yeah,
hid in the background and shit like that. You know?
yeah, 100%. Like that's what I said. It probably has mad nuances. Like at the end where Robert Pattinson is like, he was like, yeah, yo, you recruited me, and he was like, oh, I'm the protagonist.
And he's
so
like crying because he knows Robert Pattinson's the guy who just gets shot in the head, saving him to open the door so he can get the bomb. Remember, because he kept looking at the backpack and it had that orange strap.
Yeah,
and then when he was walking
remember.
Away, he saw that.
Yeah, the orange. Yeah.
That's why he's all sad because he's like, you're gonna die if you go. Don't go. And he's just like, dog, this is the end of my journey with you. But for you, this was just the beginning of your journey with me because you're gonna recruit me.
Oh, that's fucking wild.
Yeah.
No, it's wild. No, it's wild. I mean, and
dude,
like all that was.
I cried when that was like.
It was wild. I'm not gonna. You picked that up better than I did. Like when he said that, I got it.
I don't know why I picked it up a lot better than other people. I couldn't tell you why. But
you're
probably just because I've seen so much media.
Yeah. You probably
I can't tell you why I picked up on this movie so quickly and everyone else has trouble with it. It's like the same with The Witcher. I don't know if you've seen The Witcher, but people watch that shit and they were all like, show is too confusing. There were 3 different timelines and they kept breaking it, and I'm just like, what? Like that was.
Chris is like, that was light work. What do you mean?
Fucking. It's 3 timelines. It's 3 different people in 3 different timelines, and then they all meet at the end. How is that fucking difficult? What the fuck? What the fuck? Fuck off. So I don't know. It's probably just because I've watched so much anime, movies, TV, played so many video games, and I've just been exposed to 80 billion different people doing that kind of shit that I'm just used to it.
Know, right.
So when shit's in linear progression, I get confused because I'm just like,
I'm used to shit not being like
I'm used to shit not being. And speaking of shit not making sense, let's get to today's episode.
That's a
of
fact.
The Tower.
Oh, he said speaking of not making sense.
That's this show. This show does that in Aces. But Lawrence, why don't you tell about this show?
All right, we are on because I want to see how many minutes in. 20 minutes in. Let's start the episode now.
Yeah, dude, obviously, we gotta shoot the shit.
You guys, you know what I'm saying? We gotta do what it do. So this week, guys, we reviewed Tower of God. Tower of God is a South Korean manhwa released as a webtoon. Okay, that's why released as a webtoon written and illustrated by S2e15. Yeah. The series aired from April 1st, 2020 to June 24th, 2020. The show has 13 episodes. Tower of God centers around a boy named 25th Bam. Okay, I didn't know that.
I didn't fuck with you. That's legit.
Okay, yeah, I had to give you the "Did you fuck with me?" look. Like, I was like 25th Bam, who has spent most of his life trapped beneath a vast and mysterious tower, with only his close friend Rachel to keep him company. Really?
Yeah.
So is that what I was watching?
Yeah.
I didn't catch all that. Yo, I don't read the summaries before I watch these. Do you read the summaries before you watch these shows?
Yeah, just because I throw the notes up before. That thing right there was just one little scene in the first episode. We'll talk about it when we get there.
Okay, because I was going to say.
It was a little thing. It was just
because I'd be going into these completely blind.
Right,
I purposely don't want to read summaries before I watch it because I don't even want to know. Like, I just want to.
Right.
So I was like, damn, I didn't pick up all that. So the genres is it's an action. Oh, it's an action. Okay. And dark fantasy. Korean band Stray Kids performs the opening theme song entitled T.O.P. Top. And ending theme song Slump in Japanese, English and Korean for the respective language dubs.
Yeah, they sing all 3 languages. That's crazy.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's insane. Head of line webtoon Tom Ackles stated in July 2015 that the manhwa's weekly installments are read by 5 million people.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot. On the original Korean platform, Tower of God is the most profitable series based on the paid preview system where readers can buy up to 3 chapters in advance. It has been consistently topping the popularity rankings since its publication in 2010, with one of the chapters received over 1,008,000 comments.
Holy shit.
Okay.
That's a lot. So in webtoon form, this show does blockbuster numbers. Like, holy shit. So
Okay.
it's crazy. Holy shit.
Okay. So
Hell yeah. So pretty much the show.
yeah, go ahead, Chris. Tell us what you think, because you
So they do this thing called in media res, Latin for in the middle of things. Literally, it's a tactic that some people use where they start a thing in the middle of a thing, and then you get all the information in flashbacks, in media res, in the middle of things. That's what this show does. Literally, we're just in the middle of things, and then every time something's introduced, you get like a little insight of like, oh, it's because this. Oh, it's because this. Oh, it does like flashback, or everyone just tells you like what happened before. So they skipped like, it would be like if Lord of the Rings, you've seen all 3 movies, right, Lawrence? So you know how Lord of the Rings, you have the Fellowship, which is all the beginning. They give you all the backstory, all the crazy shit, blah, blah, blah. And then you have the other 2. It would be like if Lord of the Rings started at the 2 towers, and then every single time anything happened, they would insert, oh, da-da-da just happened because, and then you got flashbacks to the Fellowship of the Ring, where they would explain shit. That's what his tactic is here's a tower, and this dude's chasing after a girl. By the way, this dude, and then you just find out in the episode, we don't know why, but he has no memory, and he was in a pit of rocks trying to break through the ceiling, and this girl, Rachel, came down and saved him. And
that
they were
was
hanging out
him?
for a while. That was him, yeah. You couldn't tell because of the hair. Yeah, but that was him. So then she leaves because she wants to get to the top to find stars at the. So I guess everyone lives in a tower. I don't know if it's future, past, present.
He said, "I guess everyone lives in a tower."
I guess because there's a tower, and there's people trying to get to the top. And I guess at the start of the tower, there's an eel monster. You got
Yo, bro, don't do the show like that, bro. Nah, bro. Bro.
All right, so tell where do they live? Where do they live? Tell me.
Okay, but see
I hate the way in media res things happen when they don't explain shit till like episode 4 and 3. You got to give at least a little bit. Anyway, remember what I said about God of High School? After episode 3, I was checked the fuck out because shit was crazy, and I don't. Fuck me, dude. I don't know what the hell's going on with that shit.
He said, bro, like, what are you doing?
Like, I can understand why people like this show. It's cool. Concept's cool. It's got everything you want in a show. I just hate in the middle of things being the way people explain shows. Like, I just hate when shows follow that recipe of like, we're in the middle, and then I just don't personally like that. I like here's the explanation of all the crazy shit you're about to see. Like, if it was a show that took place in our world, and then blah blah blah, I could understand the starting in the middle and then doing flashbacks because we're in the world, we understand. But when you're in a world where there's a lizard man, a guy in a suit and tie with a fucking invincible bag, an eel monster, a god, like, I'm like, dog, you gotta explain some of this shit. A dude with a sniper gun, but also a bowman, also a cube that knows everything and will tell you what you need to do. It's like, you gotta explain some of it to me, man. Otherwise, I'm just gonna be confused for 9 episodes until you finally explain it to me. And I don't know. I'm like, at least tell me, do people live here? And then they go in, and then that'd be fine. Okay. It's just like, the dude is brought in, and it's like, you're by yourself, you gotta do this tower, you gotta get this first floor, you gotta kill the ball, get past the monster eel. By the way, I'm a rabbit, and there's a king and the queen in the tower watching over all this shit. I'm like, so do we live in the tower? Is there a world outside the tower and we go in the tower? Why is there a rabbit that can? Okay, so there's monster people. Cool. And then he goes to do it, but then other people show up and they live in the tower. So I don't know. I need explanation, man. They threw too much at the beginning. Too much was thrown in the beginning, first episode, to not explain it. There was just too much shit. That's my complaint. But if we take away that, the art style is cool. It's like a
Definitely a webtoon, all right.
I was gonna say poorly drawn, but not because poorly drawn. Like that was the style they went with. You know what I mean? They specifically chose this style of art.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And I like it. It's not. I don't watch this and I go, "Oh, this looks like shit." I watched it and it's a cool aesthetic and I like it and I think it does good for the show. The voice acting was cool. The fight scenes. The ending is really fucking dark when they all just start murdering each other and people just start getting fucked up at the end. Like that was crazy. The characters' designs are cool. At least everyone looks different. You don't have all generic shit. Like everyone looks cool. The lizard dude's a badass motherfucker, and I can't wait to see what the fuck he happens. Like why he's all crazy. Again, I think they just shoved in a lot of shit into this first episode and didn't explain any of it. So I was just confused. I had to halfway through the episode, I had to like turn my brain off and be like, I'm not gonna learn anything. I'm just watching cool shit happen, and they're not gonna teach me anything. Cool. And then it was enjoyable, but when I'm sitting there trying to figure shit out, So it's one of those shows where like if you like going into a show and not giving a shit about backstory and you're just like I just want to see cool shit happen, you'll love it. I'm not saying if you hate that kind of thing, don't watch the show. I think you should watch. I'm sure they'll explain everything at some point, but I don't know. What do you think?
That's
give me your thoughts.
no, that's a fair assessment. So all right, I'll start with my notes first, but I'm gonna get to what you said.
Last thing, the songs were bangers. They picked some good songs. Those were good.
Okay.
Intro and outro songs were actually really good.
The story being told is definitely. It was like it was a different approach. Like it was something that I've never heard of before. So I guess talking ideas wise, generally like, all right, cool. This was creative in its own sense.
Right.
You know, it's interesting. All right, you get to the top of the tower, you get anything you want.
Right.
You can become a god. Little generic, sure. Okay, cool. It's an anime. We already know this.
Right.
The descriptions like this happen every day. We're just gonna have to, like you said, just live with, watch it, figure it out. You know, it could be nasty, it could be trash, whatever. We'll figure it out.
Right.
Boom. All right, cool, interesting. The animation. So this is a manhwa, right? This looks nothing like God of High School.
No,
so
nothing at all.
The webtoon, like you said, to me, this reminded me of watercolor painting and like pastel colors.
Yep.
It reminded me of like water. There's a lot of, you could definitely tell like how the animation style is different. It's like drawing, like literal drawing, literal.
It looks like first pass drawings too. It looks like they just drew it and went, it looks like that. Cool.
Yeah.
And like they didn't fix anything. And I'm not saying it's bad. It's completely different from anything we've watched, and I like it.
Yeah,
I think it's good. I like it.
I agree. It was definitely different. I thought one thing I liked about it was the tests that they signal to us that there are tests here.
Oh yeah. Like every floor is like a little
test. Yeah. Each one is a different test, and I was like, I was like, I could get with that. The higher up you go, each level you ascend, you have to take a new test, and I was like, okay, that could get interesting.
Right.
So that was an idea that I liked. I also like the dynamic of the Tower Watcher. So that rabbit that you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So he's the character he's the character in the show that already knows everything low key.
Right.
But so he knows what the audience does not know. So it's like we're finding this all out while he's like
Well, he
I
already
already
knows.
know how to win this.
Yeah.
And I'm just here so that I enforce the rules and make sure no one breaks the rules and make sure that this is the
Right.
tower stays. I'm the tower watcher. So I'm just gonna sit here. Go ahead, y'all try to make it to the top. I think that's like pretty dope.
Right.
Like because he's gonna have to do a lot with this story.
Right.
And it's in and I thought I know there are like 50 million other shows. I'm not gonna be able to think of shit off the top of my head where there are characters like that, where like there's a guardian of the
Whatever.
whatever.
Yeah.
Of the you know what I'm saying? The mystic
Right.
sword that
Right.
you forgot he was there. You try to go get the mystic sword, the guardian comes out and kills you because you forgot, and he happens to be a 3-legged fucking this
Right.
car with
Shit like that. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so he's like, but like he's not like that, but a protector of the forest and shit
Right.
like that. Like, I always like those roles, like
Okay.
those roles of like a protector of the this. Like I thought that was cool. So now addressing what you said, you're right. I didn't know that was the cinematic term for it. You call it middle of media something.
In the middle of things, it's called in media res. Hold on, let me go.
In media res. That's what it's called. Okay, because mad movies do this tactic. So like.
Yeah.
So like, but that's the thing. This is not the first time we've seen an anime that does this. So that's why I'm like, I'm okay with this for the first episode. I'm okay with this for the first episode. God of High School does this for like 10 episodes straight. That's the difference.
Right.
I haven't seen 10 episodes of this yet, so I can't say that about this yet. But it just one episode in, yes, there's a lot of shit. They drop gems like the girl who gives him the sword, and the person that the girl is traveling with goes, try and ask it for its power, and it'll say it like this is the only thing you can do. And like, so the weapons are important here, because then the other girl at the end where you say like the lizard looking dude who's a killer, he looks at one of the girls fighting in the field and he's like, oh, she's strong, I could fight her. And he looks at her sword, and her sword has the same symbol as the sword that the chick gave Bam. But hers is green, his is black. So she has a superpower sword too.
What were they saying? So, they said it was like only because like her traveling buddy. What'd they say? Like only the queen or only those chosen something. He said there was only a specific type of person can wield the sword.
Yeah.
And and because she was all like, give it to him on board, and then he uses it, and the god of the sword or whatever comes out to grant him power, and she's all pissed off because she never got that power.
She's like, never given it to me, and she's like, oh, she might not like girls or some shit. She was like, yeah,
he's like, I hate girls. I like this dude.
Yeah,
I like this pretty boy. Peace out.
So it's like, there were yes. This anime doesn't start off with an explanation of the world. This first episode is they dropped you in the water, but I don't feel like it was shark infested water they dropped you in. I don't feel like there was an abundant amount of super a lot information that you had to process, that it was like, yo, this is too much. I just thought
it was
they dip you in the appetizer sauce a little bit. I don't feel like they like.
Here's what I look at it as, here's the one big main thing we're not really explaining to you. Why get to the top of the tower, blah, blah, blah. But then if you look at everyone's character design and everyone in the world, they give you a lot of little shit that also doesn't really make sense, but only if you look for it. If you're just paying attention to the overall arc of the thing, you have one big thing and you're trying to follow it, and that's fine. But I was looking at all the little tiny shit throughout the whole show, and that's why I got mad confused.
Which that's understandable. Yeah, I mean, because I feel like we're advanced anime watchers. Like, we know that you have to pay attention to little shit, because that little shit at the end of the anime is good. They're gonna pull that's why. We know that, so we do that. So I feel you on that. Like, I feel you on that.
Also, to explain in media res a little more, a narrative work beginning in medias res opens in the midst of the plot. Often, exposition is bypassed and filled in gradually through dialogue, flashbacks, or description of past events. A notable work that takes advantage of this, Hamlet. For those of you that don't like Shakespeare, another notable work is Star Wars. Because if you remember, Star Wars starts at episode 4, not 1. So that's in media res. You have Star Wars episodes 4, 5, and 6. And then before the prequels came out, all that shit everyone just knew about by watching the first 3 movies, and then people in the movies telling you like, yeah, Darth Vader, he was this back in the blah blah blah. Oh, and all that shit, you know. So that's in media res. So that's a classic example. Star Wars. Think of the first actual 3 movies that came out, and then remember watching those before the prequels came out. And you had to fill in everything through dialogue and flashbacks in the movies. That's in media res. If that helps.
That's a great example.
Yeah.
So like. So I think what they did in this first episode was okay because it's the first episode.
Right.
Now, if they go into I don't want to say I'm knock on wood that this is not a trend with Manwas, because we know God of High School is a little like...
See, God of High School was reversed, though. Episode 1, they explained everything.
That's true.
But then at the final episode, you were like, what the fuck did I just watch? Because that was not God of High School.
Nah, that's
I don't know what the fuck. The God of High School
did the reverse. Finish watching the whole...
God of High School? Yeah, God of High School, I finished. I got to the end of that, and I was just like...
I didn't, bro.
Dog.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't. Okay. All right. Yo, chill.
God of High School,
like
dude.
That. It gets even more.
What episode you finish on?
Like 10. I was like 10.
Did you get to the parts where people transformed and there were gods? And there are gods. There's another race of creatures. People transform.
I'm just gonna finish it. I'll finish it. I'll do it. I'll probably do it today. I'll say fuck it.
You might as well. It's only like 2 or 3 episodes. Just finish it.
Yeah, because I thought it went up to... Wait, how many episodes are in the first season? Hold on. I thought it was like... Oh, well, that's good, because I thought there was going to be more that I had to watch.
I mean, there's going to be a season 2 eventually. It ends with like...
Hold on.
Listen, it was 13 episodes. Dog, they took... They took 8 seasons worth of shit, and they were like, we can do it in 12 episodes. I was like, please don't do it in 12. Do it in 8 seasons, please.
He said,
like, please don't do this to me. There's so much fucking shit. It is ridiculous.
13, yeah. All right, so I'm on like 10. All right, that means I only got like... All right, I'm good. I'll finish this today.
People are giving Dragon Ball transformations. Gods exist. There's a race of creatures the gods employ for death.
Oh wow! All right.
There's so much shit. There's so much shit.
So I just think that two things. One, yes, the Tower of God uses in media res. The first episode, I think the first episode was decent.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think that I've seen better, but once again, I don't think you can like judge. I'm less harsh when it comes to judging first episodes now. We've been doing this for so long that I know animes can be really good, even if I'm like, this first episode was mediocre. You know what I'm saying?
I usually give it the 3 episode test.
Yeah, it's like a 3 episode rule.
Yeah.
I think Vinland Saga went to 4. So, and I even think 4, people don't even want to watch 4 episodes of something if they're on the ropes about it.
Well,
so
here's another reason why I'm a little iffy about Tower of God is I remember when Tower of God was coming out, no one would shut the fuck up about that show. It was like eclipsing every other show when it came out. It came out, never fucking heard a word about it again. Never heard anyone talk about it ever again. It was the most hyped thing on the planet. Episode 1 dropped. No one spoke of it. Not a single. Didn't see anything about it after that. So that's why I'm like, I don't think because of starting in the middle of shit and then they don't explain. I don't think that's the reason. I think it
wasn't a good show as people thought.
Yeah, that's what I think happened. Because, like I said, like even God of High School people still talked about after it was done, even though that show confused the fuck out of me by the time. People still talked about the whole time it was airing. Like everyone talked about Tower of God. Like I said, it was like Attack on Titan levels of everyone excited when it was coming out. But then it came out, and I never heard another fucking word about the show. No one spoke about it. People I knew that started watching it never brought it up again. Like, it was like the first episode came out, and then the show, just no one wanted to talk about it anymore. So I don't know if it was just like, if it's not a good show, if it's confused. Like, I just don't know. So that's why I'm like, do I bother watching it? Should I keep watching it? I was confused, but liked the first episode. Confused out of my fucking mind, but I thought it was cool. If the all right, so if in the ending when everyone didn't just start fucking murdering each other, because the level 2 is there are 400 people on the level, and they gotta get it down to 200, and they're ordered like, hey, don't give a shit how y'all do it, you just gotta do it, and then they show like 10 people get fucking murdered, and it went from like, oh, this seems like a cool action adventure type of thing, oh, it just got really dark. People are shooting each other, murdering. I'm like, okay, now I kind of want to see episode 2. Kind of want to see it.
Right.
If that scene hadn't happened, I probably never would have watched this again. I probably would have been like, I can skip this one. But
I'm adding these to my list right now because I need to watch. I need to finish watching some shit.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. It's like I said, if that final scene hadn't happened, I would have just dropped it. I would have been like, whatever. I've seen a million types of shows that are like this, but you know what I feel like is going to happen? One of two things. Either the show is going to only focus on getting to the top of the tower, but they'll never explain anything and I'll be confused all the fucking time. Or it's going to pull a Sword Art Online where, hey, this is the tower. JK, we're done. Here's 18 other seasons of shit that you don't really care about. I'm like, all right, cool, bet, whatever. That's what Sword Art Online did, where they had this nasty fucking episode 1 premise of they gotta get to the level 100 or everyone dies. 4 episodes later, all right, so now we're in a new game. We're done with that. Ignore it. That's all done. And I'm like, what?
That'll go down in history as one of the biggest, like, bro,
fuck yous
type moments. Yeah, that was wild.
Dude, I'm telling people I know
was nuts.
People keep telling me that the new season of SAO is really good, but I'm like,
yeah. Sheldon was telling me about it.
My interest in SAO has gone down with each half season that I've watched. So I think I'm gonna skip it. I think
you see what I'm saying? That's a fact. Like sometimes your interest goes down after like your anticipation of like, nah, this needs to be on some level of like.
That's what I think happened with Tower of God, where like everyone was like, it's gonna be fucking nasty, and then it came out and they were like, have you heard of this other show? And I'm like, okay, cool. So I think I don't know. I don't know.
So all right. Okay, so I just think boom, all in all, I think that this show, before we go and you and everyone has a right to be like, yo, this in media res for this didn't work for me.
Right.
Boom. But as anime lovers and as anime watchers,
I think you should still watch it.
We would not be doing our due diligence if we didn't watch episode 2, even maybe 3. You have to, because there are like I said, good animes who start slow, who happen to be S tiers, and it's just like, yo, you can't go off that one.
For me, if the dark shit didn't happen at the end of episode 1, I wouldn't watch it. I'd be like, not for me. It's whatever. I've seen a million anime that are like this that I like more, whatever. But then all of a sudden at the end where people start fucking getting murked, and I'm like, oh, so this is some dark shit.
I wasn't expecting that. Yeah,
I wasn't expecting this is some dark shit.
I was not expecting that.
Stakes are real. It's not one of those, oh, you die, You get teleported at the beginning of the tower. You guys, no, you're dead. You're dead. You just got murdered because you happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Like, holy shit. So I'm like, okay, so there are actual stakes to go here. People just don't walk in and they do it.
Right.
I'll watch the second episode and then I'll assess.
Right.
I think.
Like the climb of the tower could be fire.
Right.
Also, don't sleep on the tests. I wrote that down here specifically.
The test was cool. That first test was dope.
Right, but think about the first test, with the eel.
Yeah. When you find out when it wasn't all about just killing the eel, it was conquering your fear of death. Because if you can't conquer your fear of death, then there's no point in even climbing the tower.
That's fire.
I was like, that was kind of fire. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was fire. Yo, you catch a lot. You catch a lot of stuff. A lot. You catch a lot of stuff. That was good.
Even when I'm confused out of my mind, I still catch shit.
Yeah, like so. Yeah, my computer's going off with the fucking alerts. Shut up. Almost. So like, I just think that like, that it has potential. Let me say that this show has potential. Mm-hmm. Yes, they drop you in the water in the first episode. That's fine. Yeah. As anime watchers, we know this is a very common theme that happens in the anime world.
It's how they execute what happens next that'll keep people interested or not.
Once you drop us there, do you give us a life float? Do the sharks just come and eat us? What are we doing? Do you send a rescue? Like, how are you getting us to float in this water? You know what I'm saying? So we will find out in episode 2. This, like Chris mentioned, this show got a lot of hype. And I hope it's for good reason, because this is a show that I have been
you really wanted Chris, to.
That I've been, I mentioned to this a mad while ago. Like, yo, I hear people talking about this shit. It sounds decent. You got to make it to the top of a tower, and you get any wish you want. Right. I know there's going to be a lot more than that. For some reason, I don't know if I want to say this.
Say it. You can't just be like, I don't know, and then not say it. You got to say it.
For some reason, this show reminds me of Made in Abyss. And I'm trying to figure out why. Chris, have you watched it yet?
No. Dude, we did Akudama Drive, and now I'm like, well, I got to watch this shit. Now you want me to watch JJK, so now I got to put Made in Abyss in the back burner again.
Every week, I'm like, yo, Chris, watch this now, too. Because I be feeling like you...
I'm going to ask you right now, what am I watching?
You watch way more things than me, Chris. You know that, right? You watch way more anime than I do regularly.
Facts.
You lap me hundreds of times. You've probably watched more anime in a fucking year than I've ever watched in my entire life. Probably. From how much you watch stuff, you've probably watched more anime in an entire year than I've watched a lot. But you be watching shit like every day. You be every day you're new, you complete seasons. I don't even do that. So
when I can't sleep at night, Lawrence. I watch like 8 episodes. I forgot why I
was saying that. I was saying that to say
Made in Abyss.
Made in Abyss. It reminds me of Made in Abyss. Yo, and I really think you would really like that, Chris, because Lawrence,
tell me right now, am I watching JJK or Made in Abyss next?
Here we go. Okay, so check. Okay,
what am I doing?
The funny thing is, you gotta pick right now.
Because you keep telling me to watch. So I watch Akudama Drive. All right, I watched Akudama Drive.
Watched JJK like 2 weeks ago, bro. All you had to do, you could have. That was one night.
But then you brought me into Akudama Drive, so now I gotta watch that shit.
No, that was for the show. That doesn't count. I'm talking about leisure on your own time. I'm talking about leisure on your own time. Nah, but it reminds me of Made in Abyss for good reason. Made in Abyss, and this is why I think specifically you'll like Made in Abyss, Chris, is because, Chris, you like things. I feel like your genre of anime is bigger than mine.
Yes.
What you like is way bigger than mine. You know what I like.
Yeah.
So Made in Abyss is not an anime that I would normally like. Right. So that's why I think you would like it, because what you normally like, I don't want to say you normally, because you like a whole bunch of stuff. This is a show that Made in Abyss is a drama.
Right.
It's not action.
Action
It's
shit.
not a
Yeah.
fighting. And I found Made in Abyss amazing.
I know. I
So
need to watch it.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's one of those things because you like more
Right.
than fighting stuff too. You watch
Right.
a whole bunch of everything else as well.
Right.
So in Made in Abyss, I was like, oh, he would like this because this isn't all just. This is like a real. This is not just fighting. This is
Right.
more shit than that. This is way deeper than that.
Right.
Character relationships and all that. This show reminds me of Made in Abyss, and I don't know. Maybe it's because I got the vibe. This first episode gave me the vibe of this isn't about just combat. There
Definitely
are
not. Yeah.
there are relationships and there's more. Now it says it's an action dark fantasy. So this could be nothing like Made in Abyss, and it's probably not. It's probably not like it at all.
Great.
But what reminded me of it is the animation style. Like it the animation style, which is like more hand drawn, and what we saw about how he's so over this girl.
Right.
He just wants to be with her, and he just wants to see her again. And it's just giving me more vibes of this isn't all about like fighting type shit. This is about, but I could be wrong because it's an action dark fantasy. It's not a drama.
We gotta watch episode 2.
But
I'll give it another episode. I'll watch it. I would say if you were part of one of those people that were all part of the hype when it was coming out but didn't get around to watching it, I'd say do yourself a favor and watch it. And watch 2 episodes. Don't watch just the first. Watch the first 2 and then decide if you want to watch more or not. I don't think this is one of those shows where you can only watch the first episode and then decide. I think you have to watch the first 2. And then you can make a educational guess.
Bunch of shit to my list. So yeah, man, I guess that's what I got for TOG. Man, I'm about to just start doing everything by their fucking acronyms now, bro. I'm not even saying shit anymore, bro.
So like MRIADRS, you know, shit like MMS, TAMB, GF, you know.
Yo, we should just start doing. Yo, bro, if we could understand each other by just fucking initials.
Dude. All right, guys. From now on, this show every week we're introducing shows just by their acronyms. The whole episode will just be acronym related shit. You gotta figure out on your own what the fuck we're talking about.
You gotta figure it out.
Like this one will be like this one's gonna be IIWTTTPUT or I mean TUGIAD. You know. I know you know what I'm talking about, Lawrence.
Be honest, bro, I can't right now. I'm not.
Is it wrong to pay little girls in the dungeon?
Wait. Oh.
And then you know, we talked about B. That's it. That's it. Figure it out. B. Figure it out.
Man, I hate Boruto.
Me too, dog. Everyone hates Boruto. Fuck Boruto.
I'm just playing. I don't know what the fuck B was.
Berserk or Bleach. Or Boruto.
That's funny as hell. Yeah, it could have been.
Could have been anything.
All right, so Chris, next week.
Wait, before you continue, next week, I'm gonna give you a choice. It's the same franchise, but I'm gonna let you decide right here on air. Are we watching the chronological how the story goes, or do you want to go by the release dates
or Star Wars style? Oh, so is this a meteor?
No, kind of, sort of, not really. Yes and no. It's like
how do
there's
they
a story. Well, how they want you to watch is to play the fucking light novel video game. So we're talking about, if you guys haven't noticed, it's the Fate Stay franchise. And I'm going to allow Lawrence to pick. Do we start with the prequel? Or do we start Fate Stay? Or are we starting with the first show they came out with? So the prequel is just more information on background. It's background information on a person. Not really the whole story. So Fate Zero is here's a guy, and here's and here's him doing the objective of Fate's Stay, and then he gets in touch with another guy who is the protagonist for Fate's Stay Night. Fate Zero is how does that protagonist for Fate Stay Night get to where he is? It's just his background and how he got to where he is. And when I say, all right, how do I explain this? It's like, imagine Lord of the Rings, and we have Frodo, okay? And Lord of the Rings is Frodo's journey to throw the ring into the fire and save the world. Yay. Fate Zero is Bilbo's story, where it doesn't really matter about Frodo, but it gives you all more background information for the story and explains shit a little more, and also adds a whole new adventure with a whole new person. But at the end of The Hobbit, Frodo's there. But he's like a little kid and he's just kind of there. And then Lord of the Rings happens and Frodo on his adventure. That's Fate Stay Night and Fate Stay. So do you want to start with the prequel? Or do you want to start with the release date? How do you want to? I'm going to let you choose. Or we can do both. Up to you.
So I'm looking at a paper.
Oh,
right
God.
here.
He's got papers in front of him. We're all fucked.
A sticky note that I have a little bit of scribbles on. That
Zero Fate Stay Night, Unlimited Blade Works. That's the timeline.
Watch.
That's the timeline.
And I wrote down.
All right, we're starting with Fate Zero, people.
You told me to watch Zero first, and then FSN. And I'm assuming that's Fate Stay Night, and then UBW.
Unlimited Blade Works, yeah.
So you told me to watch them in that order.
All right, we're
and I was going to do that.
We're starting with Zero, people. We'll start with Zero.
So which one is that? Is that
Fate Stay Zero is the prequel. That's like the Hobbit of this world, and then Fate Stay Night is the Fellowship of the Ring.
Okay.
So here, I'm gonna give you a little. I'm gonna give you a little background real quick.
So chronological. You told me to watch it in chronological order because you didn't want me to be like confused. You wanted me to know all the information.
Pretty much, Fate Stay Zero starts with a guy, and he's part of this tournament. That's the whole reason why everyone. It's a tournament. It's about get the Holy Grail, and the Holy Grail will grant you any wish. And this guy joins. There's 7 people, 7 teams, and this story follows this guy going to get the Holy Grail to get his wish. He gets there, he gets his wish, and then he meets a kid. That kid is the protagonist for Fate Stay Night. But you have to. Fate Stay Zero gives you a bunch of shit, a bunch of awesome, cool fight scenes, a bunch of shit. And the way Fate Stay Night works is you have Fate Stay Night.
Oh, wait, real quick.
What's that?
Don't, no spoilers, because I actually will. I'm gonna do this. So
you're gonna watch it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So don't no like crazy spoilers.
The only spoiler is that Fate Stay Night, Fate Stay Unlimited Blade Work, and I forget the third one. It's like Fate Stay something of the butterfly or whatever. They're all the same story, but the protagonist makes a different choice at the start of all those stories, giving you different timelines.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, question for you.
What's up?
Okay. So because I have it down, so you wanted me to watch it in chronological order.
That's what we're doing.
Okay. Okay. So, but how they intended you to watch it was FSN first?
FSN, then Fate Zero. The only thing... Do you want to do Fate Stay Night first?
The only reason I'm saying, because... Well, you just said it, so I know now. But I know that would hit that. It would hit a lot more if I feel like if I watched FSN and was like, oh, okay, this is cool, and then watch Zero and you find out how that antagonist becomes that antagonist. I think that's gonna be like that's a moment, which is why they made they intended it to watch FSN first. But so what do you think, Chris? What do you think would What do you think is more exciting to watch first? What do you think? What do you think? Oh, wait. I'm sorry. What do you think is the best order to watch these things? Now,
Chronologically, personally. Only because
okay.
there's a lot of like relationships between people that you don't know about in Fate Stay Night if you haven't seen Fate Zero, because they explain them in Fate Zero, but not in Fate Stay Night.
Okay. All right. That's fine. We can do that. That's fine with me. So Zero, then Night, then UBW. All right.
Hell yeah.
Is that a movie?
No,
Yeah, are these all
yes and no.
movies?
No, so Fate Stay Zero is a show. Fate Stay Night's
Oh,
a show. Fate Stay Unlimited Blade Works was a movie, but then they made a show. So I would say watch the show. The show
okay,
has a lot more shit. And then Heaven's Feel is the start of the movie. They made so the final season, the third timeline that the dude goes through, instead of a show, they made it into 3 movies. They didn't make it into a show.
okay.
All right, people, we're doing Fate Stay or Fate Zero next week. Hey.
All right. Fate Zero next week, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate y'all. You know what it is.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week.
Thanks for watching. We'll holler at you next week. Take it easy.